getting into my nice fire sticks. You know, I really like to save these for when I get home and shit. So I have these, you know, while I'm off. You know, but I think I can go through these. Smoke one. Normally I buy some of them $10 punch cigars, which is really good, but they just cheap. But next to, you know, my Camacho Triple Maduros and my Rocky Patels, which I always save them for the last, the dead end. I got these good Romanos, pretty good cigar made in Bolivia. Not a Cuban, but you know, shit, it do its damn good. It do a good job. You know, do a damn good job, and it's fresh. Now, I can turn the truck off for a minute. I was listening to the wrap-up crew, the daily wrap-up crew, and I break down, you know, all these, you know, debates that they have. These literally some young dudes, and they have a lot of different kinds of chicks on the show. You know, mainly black chicks, but most of them, some of them, a lot of them be divestors and squirrelers. Some of them be what you would consider feminist, toxic ass women. Then you have the toxic women that are toxic for no damn reason. Then you have, you know, they have all assortments of disturbed ass chicks on their show. And every time I listen to these young dudes, they don't never ask these chicks no kind of goddamn questions that's solid. So, we just had this toxic little chick on. And this chick is toxic in the motherfucker. She talked about how she was married twice and her last husband was a good man and she just was a bitch to that man, to the point where that man just left. And then she talked about her father, how her father was a good man, had a 6-figure job, stayed home to take her mother, and even wiped her ass before she even died. She was cussing that man out and all kind of shit. And she said all the female relatives are the same way with the men. Now, this is how you know black women, they'll have good men and dog them out, do all kind of shit with these good men, but they can have a nigga that beat the shit out their ass, smack their ass around, tell them to shut up, and be abusive, and they respect that man, but they respect that man shitty draws. So they give you this whole idea, damn, so I gotta knock the shit out of a bitch just to get her to listen, to get have respect for me, because if I don't, she'll run all over me. Am I advocating for that? No, I'm not. By any means, I tell brother to get out this shit. I tell brother we gotta deal with the toxic ass woman. Fuck all that. I could be toxic all by my goddamn self. Cause anytime you get to where you gotta beat a woman ass, you don't need to be with her. You know, I feel like that. If I gotta beat a bitch ass, I ain't gonna be with your ass. Point blank. You know, life too damn short. But I know situations where I have friends that were in toxic relationships. They ever seen these toxic relationships with women that used to go toe to toe with them and shit. You know? And I had one friend named Raymond. And he had this little, she was a little light-skinned chick. But attractive woman, she attractive. I ain't gonna even keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100. Man, that chick gave him so much goddamn hell, man. And I would ask him at work, I'm like, nigga, I said, damn, your girl don't even have no respect for your ass. He like, I said, have you ever thought about leaving the man? He said, I can't, man. I said, what you mean you can't? He said, and basically he said, because the sex good. I said, so your whole relationship is determined on that the sex is good, nothing else. But you got to deal with all the motherfucking name calling, you know, fighting. This chick could go out with her girlfriend. She just go out with her girlfriend, stay out all week long with the girlfriend. She'll have the kids at home. So she'll be out there, you know. Women always talk about, what's up, bro? Women always talk about abusive relationships. But a lot of these women be toxic in the motherfucker. When they ain't just black chicks, it's white chicks too. Just toxic in the motherfucker. And you be wondering why motherfuckers be sending a lot of their ass to the upper room and shit. And you know what? I was just looking up the abuse stats of women. And I'm looking at white men and black men who go through the same thing in the relationships. And I'm gonna tell you like this: black men are lenient as liberal. Black men lenient as fuck on shit. Black men are some of the most goddamn liberal motherfuckers there is. Cause when I go and look up the abuse rates of women, I see. I'm just keeping it real. I see white men, then Asian, Native American men, Indian men, East Indian men, Hispanic men, Asian men, and Pacific Islanders. Then they up there with, they call them indigenous. If you're a Pacific Islander, this Native American, they up there with indigenous due to the fact that, you know, the United States have Hawaii and shit, and they Polynesians. They put Native Americans and Polynesians in the same category. Pacific Islanders in the same category. But anyway, when you look at all the goddamn abuse of women, it goes black men at the goddamn bottom. I was shocked that black men were at the bottom. Cause they always would say, used to have white men talking, yeah, black men abuse you. Come to find out, they the biggest abusers at the top. How that motherfucker? You go and read all them stories of how many of these white men be deleting their white wives and shit. Then they delete their whole family and shit. They delete their whole motherfucking family. And then they project all their behavior on black men and shit. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourself, man. White men, take that motherfucker back. Cause y'all always talking this shit that somehow black men are inherently violent, and y'all, if that's the goddamn case, y'all goddamn ultra instinct violent, motherfucker. Y'all go Super Saiyan Kaioken motherfucking violent. So don't project that shit on us. Anyway, back to the subject. When you look at all the abuse rates of black men are at the fucking bottom. And then when you look at it, I was telling these chicks online that I know it be women out here setting niggas up to get killed, robbed, all kind of shit. I know friends that were set up by chicks to get robbed and shit. Yeah, you have chicks to set niggas up. You got chicks to kill niggas. You did? So, you know, looking at my friend deal with that shit, go through that shit, man, I'm like, man, that's fucked up. You know, that's fucked up. And you'll have, I'm gonna show you like this. You'll have chicks that scared as fuck of their boyfriends or husbands and shit. Where if a nigga look at their ass the wrong way, they quiet. I'm telling you like this, white boys fuck me up when they do the shit. Cause yeah, I know how y'all white boys operate. Y'all will smack Becky and Susan in the face and tell her to get up in the kitchen after y'all done beat the shit out of Becky. Tell her go clean herself up and cook me some dinner. And she go right in that goddamn kitchen and cook dinner and shit. But yeah, that's what y'all white boys be doing. But y'all project all this shit on us. Shit, we barely could get Keisha to cook dinner. Keisha look at us like, damn, man, what you gonna cook? Nigga, we better call motherfucking what? You better call somebody, go get your call in, motherfucker. I ain't cooking shit. Shit, you have chicks, they'll tell your ass, they ain't gonna cook your ass, tell you I ain't cooking shit. I ain't doing none of that. Real spill, you have chicks that be fucking me up, so I ain't cooking that nigga shit. You know? You have niggas that chicks that get down like that. You know? It's fucked up, but true. Cause a lot of black men are pushovers in relationships. They are pushovers, and that's why it's easy for black men to date out. It's easy for black men to really date out because a lot of black men are raised by single mothers, and then we were taught. A lot of them, not me, I had a father in my house, a dad in my house. But black men are taught to basically clean up your room. If I ain't home, make sure stuff out that we having for dinner and shit. Mom, my mom had us do all that shit. And she was we had a structure in my household now. Yeah, shit, my brother didn't turn out right. I tell a lot of people, just because you have a structure in your house, that don't mean some of your siblings gonna turn out right. So let's keep it 100. Shit, my brother was straight street nigga thug in the street. I ain't gonna even lie. They know, my family members on here know what I'm talking about. They know my brother. But I'm just telling you, man, just because you got a structure in your house, that don't mean you gonna be an eight-boom coon kid. Shit, look at the Menendez brothers. Shit, they murdered their mom and their dad. And then their excuse was that the dad was sexually abusing them. Now, I ain't gonna dispute or say they lying. I ain't gonna say that they tell the truth. We don't know. We don't know. Because shit, if you look at the Borges, the Borges, their dad was sexually basically sexually molesting and raping his own daughter. That's why the Borges was fucked up. And then on top of that, we ain't gonna even talk about Chico. And that's just the Borges. So shit, man, I mean, when just because you got a man in your house, that don't mean you're gonna have a structure in your house. A lot of people don't know that. That don't mean shit. Just because you got a man, you can have a structure, a father and a mother in the house, and still you can come out dysfunctional. That's why I'm telling people you can't just say, I got a father and a mother in the house. You can still come out, you can have a dysfunctional mama and daddy in the house. That's married. That don't mean shit. No, I tell people that don't mean shit if you got a motherfucking mom and dad in the house. It depends on what kind of structure they come from. If they come from a structured environment, they're gonna have a structure. But if they don't have a structure, shit. If they don't have a structure, shit, they're gonna come out without a structure. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes just because you got sometimes you will have kids that have a single mama household and come out good. Or vice versa. But for us on how women being disrespectful and shit in a relationship, I'll tell a brother, man, look, a lot of times men don't want to leave, get out their relationship. Especially if they married to a woman, they got children in. A lot of times brothers don't want to leave, don't want to get out their relationship. Normally, it's the women that lead the relationship. That's normally what happens in black relationships. The women normally lead, not the men. They can have a good ass man in the house, and that woman will still lead that relationship for some wayward dick. But then again, they ain't even just black women. That's women in general. Women in general get bored with their damn husbands and shit like that. You have a chick that just got bored with their, bored with their relationship, their marriages. And then they come home to that nigga, they get off of work. They get off work and they see that nigga every day. And then they meet this nigga at the job or work down in the shop. You work in a plant or something, you work in the office. Like my boy Tito, shout out to General Hardcore Tito. He was talking about when he worked at a plant, how all these women, most of the black women, for real, most of the black women will go hook up with the white dudes that work down in the shop. And they will go and have an orgy and shit. Yeah, they'll go and have an orgy and shit with all the white dudes that work down in the plant, and then go home to their black husbands. Yep. That's what was going on. And how he found out about it, because a white woman told him. A white woman up there in the office told him how them women get down. And he said, hey, you ain't never told. She said, ain't none of my business. But she said, I'm pretty sure if the women husbands down there that work at the plant found out, it's gonna be World War III up there in that plant. And see, this is how you have a lot of these. That's why I tell y'all white boys, when y'all be getting down like that, y'all think Becky and Susan won't find out? Oh, y'all think Becky and Susan ain't gonna find out? Becky and Susan gonna find out, and she gonna say, well, if you can go and get with Ghetto Gang or Keisha, hell, I'm gonna go and get with motherfucking Shaka Zulu, Mandingo, Tyrone. I'm gonna go and get me motherfucking Tyrone Maximus the III. And see, that's normally how that shit go down when y'all white boys be out here laying up with black chicks like that and not telling them, and then keep that shit on the wrap. Y'all think y'all white girlfriends and wives ain't gonna find out about that shit? Y'all think them white women don't be talking shit? Shit. You think them white women are women. They get up and gossip too shit. They be gossiping shit. They'll get up and gossip with the black women. Cause women are just gossipy ass motherfuckers. They gossip about all kind of shit. It's just like black chicks was going to trips and shit down there to Jamaica and getting laid out and splayed out by Max Steel on the beach, walking around there looking like Bob, a motherfucker what? A muscle-bound Bob Marley. Up there. You had chicks, man, going down to Jamaica getting splayed open by Jamaican niggas down there. Hell yeah. It ain't no different than the chicks that be out here messing with these YNs out here. Shit, they get these young. If you're an older guy, let you get a motherfucking 25-year-old or something like that, and I'm 50. And I'm just saying, I go and get a 25-year-old. Oh, you a pervert. You're an old ass sexual deviant. But women can go out here and get a young nigga, and nobody don't say shit about it. See, these older women be out here, 45 and 50, with 25, 22, 23-year-old. All they have to buy that little nigga is a pair of Jordans and an Xbox. Right here in front of anybody. Well, yeah, they be buying them little young dudes Xbox Jordans, the new Jordans out, using their husband money. And the husband looking at, damn, why I don't got no goddamn new Jordans? I'm sitting up looking at the receipts. Well, I don't got no goddamn new George. Who the fuck getting new George? Oh, I just bought this for this young man. He was doing something for me, and I was being nice. Oh, nigga, you don't think about it until later on. They say, oh, you talk about it with your buddies at work. And then your buddies, you talk to them about your buddy. Yeah, man, she bought this little young dude some George in the Xbox. She bought what? Nigga, you don't know. What you talking about, man? Nigga, that dude, that little young nigga, that little NY boy, he's smashing your wife. He's smashing your wife, dog. And then the old nigga find out and go home and talk to her about it. And she tell you need to stop worrying about them niggas out there. Them niggas don't mean they just trying to fuck our marriage up. It should be funny in the motherfucker, but hey, that's how the cookie crumble though. You know? And there's a lot of reasons why a lot of women be getting abused and shit. But motherfuckers be catching their ass doing shit. It's like shit, like my first wife, I caught her ass doing some grimy shit. And after I caught her, I just said, I stopped fucking with her. Just cut her off like karate.